Good afternoon, I'm Nellie Jasper.
And I'm Bria Morris. This is UT Taller MCOM News.
Ahead, volunteers pick up 12,000 tons of trash.
And you'll meet the world's ugliest dog.
According to CNN, a search and rescue ship stranded in the Mediterranean Sea for 5 days docked in Milana. The German charity mission Lifeline ship has 233 immigrants on board. The ship was not allowed to dock until European leaders agreed on how to handle the migrants on board. Maltese Prime Minister Joseph Moncost says an agreement has been reached.
Jaja, a 9-year-old English bulldog, is the winner of the 2018 Ugliest Dog Contest in the San Francisco Bay Area. Owner Megan Bernard of Minnesota receives $1,500 for Zaza's win. According to the contest bio, Bernard rescued Jaja through a pet finding site. Dogs in the annual contest are judged as they flaunt their imperfections.
Hundreds of volunteers removed an astonishing 12,000 tons of plastic from Malibu Beach. Every weekend, volunteers visit the Verrazano Beach to pick up the trash. Lawyer Alfonso Sean has inspired the movement, calling it the Shy Ocean Rescue. Shy Ocean Rescue is partnering with Premier League and National Geographic that gives a whole new meaning to taking out the trash. It's time for our first weather report, and here is Kayla Ketrick with the national weather.
Thank you, Nellie. In Colorado Springs, fire in southern Fort Garland scorched nearly 60 square miles and was 0% contained as Saturday afternoon, according to the INCU web. The fire sparked 9 miles north of Fort Garland and has closed Highway 160 at La Veta Pass. Fueled by high temperatures and winds and low relative humidity, the fire forced the evacuation of some of 350 homes in the area. In central Iowa, the National Weather Service reported that the water rescue occurred Saturday night and a flash flood emergency was issued because of the dangerous flooding. Dust from the Sahara Desert spread into the Texas after traveling more than 5,000 miles from Africa across from the Atlantic Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. Visual satellite imagery presented a clear view of the dust plummet lofted above coastal Texas and the adjust weather Gulf of Mexico. Residents of the coastal Texas reported dust brought haze skies to the region on Saturday. Another fire broke out and residents were ordered to evacuate in the rural area of Northern California as a wildfire burned out of control. And back to Nellie with the with the news.
Since being more than 100 structures were threatened in the ranch land northwest of Sacramento, but no injuries were reported, and it was unclear as to how many residents were impacted by evacuation orders. The blaze was 2% contained as the Saturday night, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection.
In Cape Canaveral, Florida, SpaceX officials say they are launching the first orbiting robot with artificial intelligence aboard used a booster rocket. And when we return, we'll have Jonathan French with the latest sports.
So, you messed up. You're out late and maybe you shouldn't have. Luckily, you're getting a drink that will ease you out of your woes with the same familiar taste. Introducing Sparrow Cider Mix. It's got a clean and refreshing taste with none of the usual side effects. Sparrow Cider Mix. Real taste. Clear conscience. This product is intended for use by people who want to cure their hangover. Try it today.
Welcome back to MCOM News at Noon. Now we have Jonathan French ready for the sports news update.
Thank you, Bria. Starting with baseball, the Texas Rangers designated hitter Shin-Soo Choo has been diagnosed with a mild right quad strain. Choo plans to play through the injury, but it will limit his availability defensively. Chu has started 28 games for the Rangers this season, and the Rangers went 14-11 in the month of June, which is their most wins in a month since August 2017. In other baseball news, the Houston Astros were on the road this weekend taking on the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa Bay. The Rays have come out of the series with an impressive 3 out of 4. They also set a team record by allowing no more than 2 runs in its 6th straight game. Astros manager A.J. Hinch said the Astros just didn't do enough to win the series. Jose Peraza kept up a parade of grand slams, sending Matt Harvey and the Cincinnati Reds over the National League Central, leading Milwaukee Brewers 8-2 Sunday. Peraza connected in the 6th inning for the Reds' major league leading 9th slam this year, tying the single-season franchise record set in 2002. 8 different Reds have hit grand slams this season. That's all from the Diamond. Now we go over to Russia as the FIFA World Cup continues on. Russia defeated Spain 4-3 on penalties to earn victory after the inaugural shootout of the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. The team had already defied expectations by reaching the World Cup's final 16 teams for the first time since the collapse of the Soviet Union. Fans now believe the tournament's lowest-ranked team could go all the way. In other news from Russia, Cristiano Ronaldo saw his World Cup dream slip away to Uruguay on Saturday, but gave no hint as to if he plans to play for Portugal in the future. The 33-year-old did say, however, that the European champions could look to the future with confidence because they have a young and ambitious squad. Ronaldo will be nearly 38 by the time the next World Cup comes around in Qatar by 2022. Now to the court. The 2018 NBA free agency officially opened Sunday. Teams are negotiating with players, only verbal agreements until signing day, which is July 6th. Kevin Durant, Paul George, and Chris Paul have reportedly agreed to extensions with their current clubs. The big story, however, LeBron James is heading to the Lakers on a 4-year, $150 million contract. The NHL's free agent signing period started Sunday at noon, but most of the top players were verbally committed before then. This means the day was full of early action. Reigning in as the top story is the signing of superstar John Tavares to a 7-year, $77 million contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs still need to add a defensive help to live up to the hype. And now on to NCAA football. Ben Miles, the son of former LSU coach Les Miles, is headed to College Station. Miles announced Sunday that he will transfer from Nebraska to Texas A&M to play ball for new coach Jimbo Fisher. Miles was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school and signed with Nebraska after the Huskers fired Coach Miles opted to transfer out of the Big Ten program. Now we're going to toss back to Nellie for more news for you.
Jonathan, the City of London says it will be sourcing 100% of its energy from renewable resources by October 2018. According to the statement released by the Square Miles ruling body, the city plans on installing solar panels on government-owned buildings. The city is investigating an off-site renewable energy projects, and it is buying clean energy from the grid.
U.S. health officials say the strain of E. coli bacteria contaminating romaine lettuce last spring has been found in an irrigation canal in Yuma, Arizona. According to the Center for Disease Control, 5 people died and almost 200 were ill after eating contaminated romaine lettuce. Arizona growers supply most of the United States with romaine lettuce during the winter.
The Mexican government says that Mexican jaguar population has rebounded by 20% over the last 18 years, bringing the current total of almost 5,000. The conservation program was launched in 2005. Regional conservation efforts were begun in March to protect the species throughout 2030. Worldwide, there are 64,000 jaguars. And we're tossing it to Kayla Kendrick.
Thank you, Nellie. Here's what the forecast for the week in Tyler looks like. Monday and Tuesday, the sun will be out and shining, and temperatures as high as 100 and as low as 77. But for the 4th of July on Wednesday, make sure you grab an umbrella because there's a 50% chance of rain with thunderstorms along with 12 miles per hour winds. So there might not be any fireworks, but I hope you're able to see some this weekend. As for the rest of this week, it looks pretty dreary with thunderstorms and partly cloudy taking up the rest of the week. But there is hope. Next week, the sun will be out and will make an appearance and will be shining all next week, bringing the temperatures as high as 100. Now for the temperatures, as this high week is 98, but the low is 74 due to the thunderstorms rolling in Tuesday night, bringing cold air. And here, to wrap up the weather report and for noon report, but now here's Bria Morris with the news.
The Texas School Marshal Program is teaching school employees, volunteer, how to react if there's a school shooter. The Houston Chronicle reports over 50 school districts in Texas are approved for the marshal. 40 districts are still awaiting approval. Applicants must be approved by the school district. They must pass a psychological exam and receive 80 hours of training to be certified.
Tammy Waddle's final wish was backpacks instead of flowers at her funeral. The Georgia teacher died June 9th at the age of 58 from stomach cancer. She got her wish. Backpacks filled with the school supplies sat at the end of the pews and in the front of the church. Waddle's obituary suggested in lieu of flowers, donations be made to Connect, which gives backpacks to needy children.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency says the final 700 victims of Hurricane Harvey are leaving their federally funded hotel rooms. Most of the 700 are moving to long-term housing solutions. It has been over 10 months since the storm hit Houston. The storm brought 55 inches of rain, causing around $160 billion in damages. Wondering what to do this weekend? Here's Emily with Movie and Entertainment Update.
Thank you, Bria. The movies this week in the box office report reflect a wide range of movie themes. In our current box office report, we have the following. The #1 ranked box office report is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. It brought in $63 million. At number 2, Incredibles 2 brought in $46 million and ranked at number 3, Sicario: Day of the Soldado brought in almost $18 million. At number 4, Uncle Drew brought in $13 million, and wrapping up the number 5 spot, Ocean's 8 brought in almost $8 million. Marvel is releasing an Ant-Man and the Wasp this weekend. Paul Rudd stars as Ant-Man and Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp. Ant-Man works to balance superhero duties with his father's role. Ant-Man fights alongside the Wasp to uncover secrets from the past. Critics are giving it mixed reviews, saying it's funny yet barely holds your attention. The thriller The First Purge is also new this week. It is a prequel showing the events of the original Purge. The documentary Whitney is also opening in theaters this start, and it shows the life of Whitney Houston. There is talk among Marvel fans about the 4th Avengers movie. It's only been 2 months since the release of Avengers Infinity War, and cinematographer Trent Opelach let slip the title of the next film might be Avengers Endgame. The movie is rumored to be out in 2 to 3 years. Disney is receiving some backlash from concerned parents about the use of some swear words. Parents say the use of the words are not necessary for the children's film and question Pixar, what's the point? Some moviegoers say Disney should issue a warning indicating the film uses of strobe light effects. A concerned Twitter user suggests people should know to take precautions. If they suffer from chronic illnesses, the effects may trigger symptoms for those with epilepsy, migraines, or other illnesses. Share your thoughts on this subject by tweeting us at the Movie Breakdown. Okay, and now we will toss it back to Nellie with some more news.
H&M is currently looking at going out of business. The value of its global inventory is dragging down its profits. H&M is struggling to deliver new items to its U.S. and French markets. This is forcing the Swedish company to cut prices on the unsold inventory. Earning for the 4th consecutive quarter fell to a record $4 billion. This is an amount is equal to almost 20% of the total sales.
Abilene residents are expressing concern about snake activity after a 1-year-old boy was hospitalized following a rattlesnake bite. The boy was playing outside his home when the 1-foot-long snake bit him on the hand. A Taylor County game warden says there's increased snake activity because of heat and the rodent population. Rattlesnakes are born in the summer and seek cool spots.
24-year-old Brianna Williams is an inspiration to her fellow Harvard graduates. Like many students, she worked hard for her law degree. Unlike others, she went into labor during final exams. After an epidural, she finished her exam. The birth of her baby gave Williams more strength to graduate. She walked across the stage carrying her baby, dressed in matching cap and gowns. It's time for the news from University of Texas. Here's Darby with the news.
Track coach Bob Hepler is resigning from the University of Texas at Tyler. Hepler is the head men's and women's track coach, track and field coach, and cross-country coach. He is also director of the Louise Harrington Patriots Center. Hepler is taking a coaching job at Eastern Mennonite University in Virginia. Hepler served as track coach since April of 2012. His teams won 22 American Southwest Conference titles, and the American Southwest Conference named him Coach of the Year 20 times. Hepler says he's looking forward to beginning his new role in Virginia. Meanwhile, he plans to help his UT Tyler teams win 2 more SEC titles this year. Dean Marty Sland is returning to the role of faculty in the political science department. He has served as dean since 2011. He steps back into the faculty role September 1st. He says it's time for a younger, smarter, and snappier dresser to take over the College of Arts and Sciences. Sland's academic career spans 5 decades, according to Sland, and according to Sland, he is exceeding this by several years. He says he is proud of his contributions to the university during his tenure. Lots of changes coming up for the University of Texas Office of International Programs. The OIP is looking for a new director for its study program abroad, and it's moving to a new office at the corner of Varsity and Old Oman Road. The office arranges study abroad courses for UT Tyler students who want an international experience. It also works with students from other countries who want to study abroad in America. The program helps students travel safely by keeping tabs on shifting U.S. travel policies. University of Texas at Tyler's online graduate nursing program is one of the best in the United States. According to U.S. News and World Report, the program is ranked number 5 nationally. The nursing program is ranked number 1 among Texas universities. UT Tyler President Michael Tidwell says this recognition validates the work of nursing and health sciences and faculty and staff. The University of Texas at Tyler technology team is number 2 in a national robotics competition. The UT Tyler students competed with, and the competition was part of Management and Applied Engineering Conference. UT Tyler senior Caleb Nels of Tyler is the 2nd out of 32 students nationally in the Industrial Technology IQ competition. And now we're back to Nellie.
3 Texas women are being arrested on voter fraud and unlawful assistance of a voter. The women voluntarily turned themselves into authorities. The state attorney general's office says the women were paid campaign workers for the 2016 Hidalgo City Council election runoff. The women are alleged to have been providing help to voters who didn't request the help or need the help.
The United States Kingdom Science Minister says there is a new £20 million fund to bring changes in the manufacturing and consumption of Pattersons and plastics. Scientists will be sharing this funding to explore the questions we all have been asking for years. Can we produce recyclable and more sustainable plastic? And can we consume plastic in a more environmentally friendly way?
Retail gasoline prices in Texas and across the country are gradually declining, but market analysts say increased demand during the 4th of July holiday could cause prices to increase. It's estimated almost 3 million Texans will travel during the holiday period. Everyone, please be safe traveling on your 4th of July destination.
Join us tomorrow for more news from the University of Tyler at MCOM News. See you then.